Hey, good morning. This is Joe from Citrus County Porch Life coming to you today, November 26th, a very chilly day here in Citrus County, Homosassa in particular. 32 degrees when I got up. My cat just went out on the porch and didn't particularly like it and started banging on the window. He wanted to come in. Well, the word for today, November 26th, 2024, is perspective. In all your ways submit to him, and he will make your path straight. That is from Proverbs 3, verse 6, New International Version. Here's commentary. The ability to perceive a developing situation and shrewdly prepare for it as a gift is a gift. Those who are insightful are able to use their awareness to see dangers ahead. When this is submitted to God's Spirit, it can be helpful in a relationship and specifically in prayer. Counselors are often gifted with understanding and discernment, which is why they are helpful in seeing situations of trouble and speaking into them. But when this gift is self-serving and not used for God's purposes, or it is no longer other-focused, it can become manipulative. Hold on a second. My mug. That is Suncoast Coffee. I love it. As with all gifts, perception is given to many for the purpose of serving and loving each other. We must learn to take each gift God has given us and submit it to Him. When it is used for love, when it is used to love Him and love others, we know that our gifts are serving the right purpose. What strengths do you see in yourself, and how are they being used for God? Well, when I was a kid, I knew I had a technical mind. I would go by, and if I saw, driving with my parents, if I saw a sign, I'd start counting numbers and see how long I'd end up on this little trip we were going, just to stimulate my mind. I've always been very technical, very, I guess technical. My choice of my first major in college, which was mathematics, and then on to graduate school in mathematics, shows my mindset. I loved computers. That's what I first wanted to get into, way when it was just talk, really not even talk of a personal computer. But I had always been interested in science fiction literature, and in the literature, you'd read a short story about some development in a handheld computer, and people watch TVs in a hand, and that interested me. That really got my interest up, and I did very well. I was lucky enough to do very well in math throughout high school. In fact, in my senior year, I had gone. We had a set of 4 books, one for freshman, sophomore, junior, and senior year, and I'd gone through them all, and they didn't know what to do. So I had a teacher, Brother Edmund, and he said, "Are you bored?" I said, "A little bit." He said, so I corrected his homework assignments and tests. Um, so I worked in very technical end of banking in the IT department. I had to get things running, had to shut them down correctly. Uh, I was in charge of operations. It would be weekends when I spent there. IBM would back then the computers started to learn that they had a pot going bad, so they'd fly it in from Poughkeepsie. It was an IBM shop, and I couldn't get anyone to work on a summer weekend, so I went in. I had a bed there, and I just have to wait for the IBM technician to come in and replace the pot. And we'd talk, and I'd ask him what this does, what that does. I'd look at his schematics, and I really enjoy that stuff. And then in my second career in nursing, I got very involved in some of the technical ends. Uh, I did edit what they call Math for Meds books that teach nurses mathematical, conversions, and I edited them, and I was paid a good sum. It didn't take me that long they're usually kind of thin books, but just to give nurses the basics of, if a person gets 50 milligrams every 3 hours, how much do they get over the course of the day? And so that was good. And I also have a never give up attitude. The harder the problem, the more I like it, and I will spend days on it. That's why I say sometimes I think I'm autistic. I'll shut out the whole world and work on a problem, and then I get a lot of satisfaction from doing that problem and having solved it. In the beginning, it was the attitude from both my parents, my grandparents, and the religious teachers I had at school was, God helps those who help themselves. And so I learned to be what I thought was, self-reliant and get it done by myself without asking help for God. And that became an issue when I started to deal with sobriety, because I thought that I could do it myself and I couldn't. So in that aspect, I wasn't very perceptive when it came to personal issues, but when it came to technical issues, very, very much so. So that's my take on today's reading. I hope it's warming up where you are. They say that by the end of the week, we're going to have some pretty nice weather. I think it'll be nice for Thanksgiving. The facility where I live, not facility, but the housing development where I live has a clubhouse, and we're all bringing kind of like a potluck, but they're going to have the turkey and ham already there. And I love that. You get to taste a lot of different food. People make their best dinner, and it's usually very good. And I'll be going to that. That way the burden on cooking isn't on one particular person, and not very much cleanup after. And I like that. So I hope you have a good Tuesday. God bless, and stay safe.